evening, everybody. Welcome back to episode 115 of New York Red Bulls Discussion Group, the podcast. Garry Redmond here at your service. Good to hear you guys tonight. So let's talk about what exactly did not happen down in Philadelphia, in Chester, which was nothing. Okay, there was no score, there was no nothing. It was a whole bunch of guys running around in the heat and humidity down at Chester, and no goals were scored thanks to two good goalkeepers that kept everything scoreless. We're actually going to review everything about that real quick before moving on to the next segment, which is the next game, of course, with the Colorado Rapids against the New York Red Bulls, and they're going to run into two old friends up there. A former coach, of course, which is Chris Armas, and of course a former midfielder, which is Omir Fernandez. And Lanre is going to break down how that's going to see if the Red Bulls can be able to walk out at least a point on the road for there. Of course, naturally, all the updates and the recaps of anything New Jersey, New York, Gotham FC. By the way, they did a great job on the West Coast. And the Young Guns, New York Red Bulls 2, man, they made Atlanta United 2 look foolish. We got 6 goals on them. We'll talk about that real quick. Of course, naturally, all the hot takes from everyone in live audience to see you guys signing in. Good to see you guys. I mean, always good to have you guys in. We're going to hear about, especially we're going to talk about a couple of things. John Tolkien making the Olympic squad. Huzzah! He's on his way to Paris. It's going to stink for us, of course. And, of course, some rumors about Memphis Depay. We'll go that in. Now, of course, naturally, if you missed the live show, which is happening right now, you can catch the recording on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'd love to have you there. Goals.tv and Spotify.com. All of our episodes are loaded very next day. And, of course, hey, we're trying to make this show one of the best ones out there, and this is where you guys come in, okay? Please, we welcome any feedback that you have, good or bad, any questions, comments, and whatnot. Please, let's shoot us an email at rbdgthepodcast@gmail.com. That's rbdgthepodcast@gmail.com. And last but not least, a happy birthday shout out to one of our members, Harold Ron Paul. Happy birthday out there, brother. Hope you're enjoying your birthday among family and friends on your very special day. So, the good news is, well, let's talk about the bad news. The bad news, of course, we didn't win. Because went up to Chester, it was basically kiss your sister, okay? Nothing derby. The good news is we didn't lose because we got picked up a point. The better news, and one that I'm sure will put a big fat smile on everyone's face, is that, hey, we got a point. NYCFC, 0. They lost. So, you know what that means, boys and girls. That simply means we get to blow the horn. We won the weekend. So, without further ado, blow that horn. And there you go. So, with that said, that's another win for that's another win in our win column, and everyone's here going to celebrate with that. But now we can begin the show and bringing in two of my wonderful co-hosts, the one and only Mark Coates, who's got an axe to grind. That's probably the reason why he's not smiling until it said 6 seconds ago. That's not a smile, that's a grin, because he was sharpening his axe all weekend, and fresh from his COVID injury, which we really brought, really was not very happy about that. But he's back. The model, Lanre Badmus. Boys, let's talk about the weekend real quick. Philadelphia Union. Is this a rivalry or no?
Yes.
Wait a minute. I knew you was going to say. Okay, go ahead. Tell me why you feel it's a rivalry. Go ahead.
Look. There's a bunch of people in our fan base who want to insist up and down that the Union are not our rivals. They're just pain in the ass. Bro, we haven't beaten them in 5 years.
They just annoy me. That's all it is.
There's always that rivalry between New York and Philadelphia. And let's be real. We really, really don't like them, man. It's definitely a rivalry. We can't pretend it's not. We can't pretend they're just an annoying little brother and we haven't beaten them in 5 years. And they've knocked us out of the playoffs twice in that span. Bro, it's a rivalry, man. It's a rivalry.
Nicholas Liano said, no blowing the horn. We sucked. What? Look, man, we got a point. Shut up. Anyway, we got.
It is concerning we couldn't beat the worst version of the Philadelphia.
You know what? I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna argue about that because you're dead right. I mean, on everyone said before the weekend on paper we should be, we were able to, ring circles around this team. But we ran into a keeper, 16 years his junior, who led in 5 goals the game before and couldn't get anything past him once. We talked about the youth movement, Mark, how there was they just simply, like a kid with a brand new credit card, and just ran up every bill and went overcharged over everything for the youth. Paxton Aronson, Danny Aronson, and all those kids. Remember them? Mm-hmm. And they're doing great things in the English Championship, and in some cases in the English Premier League, doing great things for the national team and stuff. But the rest of the team, a little old, a little slow. But still, they're able to be big and physical and knock you out the box if need be. The simple fact that for about 90 minutes they traded goal opportunities and went nowhere. I mean, even Dante had a shot point blank range blocked, by this keeper. So I know everyone is saying, hey, we got to trade we got to trade Dante Van Zier. The dude was trying, and he didn't look too happy when he got pulled off the field because he felt he could do some, you know how it is when you soften up your opponent, guys, and you think just as when you say, okay, I can carve these guys up, give me a chance, he gets yanked off the field. Not too happy. And of course, his understudy, which happens to be Elias Manuel, he had an opportunity, another point blank range at the end of the game, and his shot was denied. So kudos to that keeper, who did very well. But my man of the match, gentlemen, I'm going to let you guys tell me who's your man in the match. You guys, I'm sure you guys took a look at the game. I'm going to start off with you, Coach. As we both dissected this, what did you like? What did you don't like? I know there was a lot more stuff that you didn't like than you liked.
Listen, there were 2 people that I saw as probably the best that I saw out there. Coronel was one. If it wasn't for him, I mean, whether they call offside or not, he makes a couple of big plays. It just.
Including a double save down the stretch. We all saw that.
That was just phenomenal. But other than that, I mean, I really, honestly, I like the way Edelman came and played. He did his job. Doncourt seemed to improve a little bit more. We just had nothing. There was just nothing from anybody else. I mean, just Ellie really impressed me though. Shot. I mean. Listen, that shot was 30 yards out?
And Andrew Rick said, okay, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Hold my beer. I was like, man, this is going to be one of those games. That was the Philly keeper, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Yeah. Andrew Rick has been playing with Philly too at the start of this year. He's also someone that someone we all know, Steve Jolly, who does Red Bull Radio.
Mm-hmm.
Steve lives in the Philly area. He knows Andrew Rick. He's watched.
He knows him. Yeah, he does. He does know him.
He
knows his kid.
So he wasn't surprised.
Nope.
He knows that this is well with
Jolly. Get this, Lanre. He told us after the game, "I'm not surprised by his performance. He's hot and cold tonight. Just happened to be hot, just like the weather." Yeah, nothing was getting past this kid, and that's like, damn.
We've had that problem for a long time. There's we talk about our Metro moment. We have a propensity to play down to people we should be beating that are 5, 6, 7, 8 places below us on the table. Mm-hmm. We run into a fresh or new keeper or young keeper, and they seem to stand on their heads because they're playing. All right. And to answer the question, filthy is a rivalry. We don't like them; they don't like us.
Thank you. Thank you.
They're in our top 3. And as I'm concerned, they're in the top 3.
Okay.
Right? And they've basically owned us for 5 years. So
no denying that.
Yeah.
Our last win was in 2018.
Yeah. Well,
that was
19.
it. Yeah. I believe it. Nope. 18.
Not down there.
Really?
I'm looking at it.
Not down there.
Apple TV said 19. Damn.
I'm looking.
That's terrible.
I mean, that's terrible. I mean,
them, right?
no. I mean,
they Apple TV sucks.
Metro Fanatic and backed up by backed up by Andrew Fasano.
Last time we beat them was the last time we were good. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the things we were talking about earlier before the show.
Guys, we look up before every show. What do? We look up stats. This is basically what we do.
Lanre was on the beach. All right, he's down the shore. He's on vacation,
and he's looking up stats. I gave him a homework assignment to do, and I know he's going to do perfect on the Colorado thing, because that's the thing that he and Carlos are very good at. So, more on that. Yeah, we're going to talk more about that after the break. But
getting back to our game.
Yeah,
I mean, when I watched the post game, thank you, Garry.
Mm-hmm.
Sandra was obviously upset. Okay, and we all felt it. There were opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
We should have Nicholas and I were going back and forth during the thread. 10 points. There's 5 games now that we have played to a draw that we should have won. And that was
at least once.
No, 5.
5. At least 5 of those games we should have came away with. Should have came away with 3 points.
That's what hurts. And I start to look at, and this is where I'm going to go with this.
Mm-hmm.
I got that lovely letter today as a season ticket holder. Lanre, it'll be in your mailbox when you get home. All right, but I read that and I was like, and I can't repeat it because we said we're a PG show.
Yeah, we are.
Don't
you dare!
I won't repeat it.
Don't you dare!
Colorful metaphors.
I'll get PG-13.
To describe the people in the front office. They had the nerve. Let's use that word. The nerve to send me this big, huge envelope praising the LED lights, the upgrades to the stadium. Like, what about the upgrades to our roster? Did you not promise? And I'm going back to February. Did you? Lanre knows. He knows exactly where I'm going. You made a promise to us as fans, season ticket holders, that you were going to crack open the wallet and you were going to improve this roster. The only thing you've done is you signed Forsberg, which you basically, like I said, you took money out of your right pocket and put it in your left pocket because he's part of Red Bull. It wasn't like the guy was playing for another team and we paid Red Bull, but we are Red Bull. So we paid ourselves. This guy was rotting on the bench in Leipzig. He wasn't going to get any minutes there.
Nope.
Oh, let's go. But he wanted to come.
You said rotting.
Well, I wouldn't. Yeah, I was about to mention that. I wouldn't say rotting.
No, but he
was a sub now.
He was a sub. He was a super sub. He was demoted to super sub, basically. I mean, that man. Just so I want to make this very clear with everybody. Okay, they love that guy very much so. He is their hero. When he was balling, okay, he took a team by the scruff of the neck, and they won 2 German Cups with this guy. Okay, they are the most, and because of that, they were the most hated team in Germany before because they won 2 DePokal championships, which is basically the equivalent of U.S. Open Cup. They are the most hated club now. Okay, because it's like someone that you didn't invite to your party show up and took the best girl out of the place twice. Okay, the first time twice. Okay, so it's like, okay, first time they did it, it's a fluke. He'll never do it again. You do another dope party, bring in another hot babe, he does it again. Okay, just for the hell of it. Now everybody hates this club. Okay, now they didn't win. They didn't win the championship. Didn't win the chip this year. Not even close. Okay, because no one was beaten by a Leverkusen. As a matter of fact, nobody did beat by Leverkusen.
No one in Germany beat them.
Okay, they beat everybody. Okay, so there you go. So, but It's either going to be them, or it's going to be Bayern Munich, or it's going to be the other BVB clubs.
Yes, Dortmund.
Not Dortmund, not Dortmund, not Leipzig, not yet anyway. No. But they're knocking on the door. Right. So you got a guy, so not to cut you off, you got a guy who was basically the tip of the sword, leading those teams up in those challenging Champions League and everything else. They loved that guy. And when they heard he was going to New York, well, they said, okay, at least he's going to do some, you're not getting, the guy I spoke to over in Leipzig, guys, he said, you're not getting a scrub. Straight up. You're getting a baller. It's like, well, how much about, dude, you're getting a baller. Treat him well. Surround that guy with talent. Y'all win. He's a baller. Well, that's the part that we have a problem with. We don't seem to surround these guys with talent. In fact, what we do is we ship them off, just as they gel, so it's, like I
said, that's the bottom line. It's like
the thing that, and I agree with, Vincent here, and I'm going to put this on the screen. He got injured basically to play in a meaningless friendly. You can't, okay. One thing I want to mention, Vincent, okay? If the national team called you up, you go. Sorry. I mean, it's just how it is, okay? That's, it may be a meaningless friendly, could be something insignificant, whatever the case may be. Yeah, Sweden is not going to the Euros. They crashed out, in embarrassing fashion, okay? They lost to a team they were supposed to beat, guys. That's why they're out. That's why they're sitting, looking, and he's got it, and yes, he has enough caps. But, but you don't, very few ballers, guys, Lanre, you can attest to this. Very few guys turn down a national team cap and you don't see them no more. That's it. It's like, it depends on the national team. You turn down
the Mexico.
Yep. Bingo. Right.
Like years for him to finally get to the World Cup.
Carlos Vela. No, right. Vela said no. I'm focusing on LAFC. You know what Mexico did? All right, you stay with LAFC. That's it. That's it. You turn him down one time. Yeah. He had, and here's another thing, Vela. No, I'm shocked in the world. Nobody picked this guy up. He's sitting.
I don't know how he's still a free agent. What are we doing?
Right, he's chilling. He's looking at the phone and everything else goes, okay, is anybody going to call me? Somebody going to call me? And I'm looking at Red Bull like, you know what? I know he doesn't want to leave the LA area. Meet his price. Something. Something. He's a guy with a left foot. He can't be any more worse than what we got.
No way. I think he can't be
he can't be any more worse than what we got. But I'm going to let that go. So now, Forsberg is out for a month. You ain't seen him until August.
Oh, come on, bro. Really?
He's out for a month. Foot injury.
You got to stay.
Leg injury. Foot injury, leg injury. Yeah, you've been away for a while when this actually happened. And this is what set and this is what set everybody off.
Well, okay? It's not just that. It's that not only are we short him, then you go and you sell Frankie Amaya.
That
our transfer window opens. So who do we have? That's the other side of this coin. We really don't have guys down at Red Bull 2 ready to step up. I mean, there's sort of a couple of guys.
They're not even a year ready. They're not even a year away. I'm talking 2, 3. Well, right, Mark? 2, 3 years away.
Go more than 3 years. If you don't show within the second year, you may
off you go.
Third. Unless you're showing a lot of promise, you're out the door.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, USL is littered with Red Bull 2 cast-offs. All right, they're just making money playing footy, but they're playing in USL. Because they just didn't get the opportunity to come up, and we've had that discussion.
Many times. Yeah. Why aren't? I mean, remember, Mark? Remember how ticked off I was when they jettisoned Jack Lacava? How ticked off I was. So I was like, what the hell did you do that for? First of all, you left him in orbit, then you punted him. I'm like, huh? I didn't understand that. I'm like,
that was that whole thing of we made the deal. Basically, we loaned him to Tampa, and then Tampa loaned us somebody who did nothing. And he was doing well with Tampa. I think he's
quite well.
He's fallen off recently, but because he's with Charleston now, I believe.
Yeah, he's with Charleston right now.
Yeah, but you look at like people like Jordan Scarlett. Jordan loved being here, and when he got asked to come back for a third year, he was given an opportunity to play. The problem was, who was in front of him? Parker and Long. Where was he going to fit in?
Where?
There was just, and that's
Where?
the part of like that. The think about 3 years ago when we talked about how many midfielders did we have? And I'm not talking about quality. I'm talking about
good Lord.
We had you look at Davis.
It wasn't even funny.
Mule are playing for Nashville now. We might want one of them back. It's like one of those situations where it's like, who did we have? Edelman gets the yellow card, so he misses a game.
Peter Stroud gets injured, and that took the bite out of the midfield.
And then
whole season.
Brady Meyer.
He's back. He's back training now. But
they said he could be the end of August.
Yeah, so it could be the end of August. He could return.
Fantastic.
Right. I mean,
but it's
remember, Lanre, it was a broken foot, not an ACL. So so it was.
I was there that game.
So him coming back, so him coming back would be a good news. Other good news is that Goma, he's working his way back. But like I said, his injury was a little bit more significant. We're talking ACL. Yeah. That takes a while. Right. So no, okay. That's going to take. That's going. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Right now, Serge is going to be a permanent fixture on the injury list. He just seems to have an issue with staying healthy. It's either, if it's not, the knee, it's the hamstring, it's
right.
It's that there's something going on with the way he runs, the way he moves.
He runs hard.
Yeah, but
that's why he gets injured.
Right.
I mean, think about it. Okay,
to run and not injure himself.
Correct.
He pulled his hamstring on that great run he made, and then it's, he just missed on the goal. And then 2 minutes later, he's getting subbed out. Why? Because he pulled his hamstring. Because he just overruns. Like, I used to laugh. I joke with someone. I said, when we were kids, I lived on a fairly steep hill. Mm-hmm. When you run downhill, you almost reach a point where you can't stop yourself.
No.
You start running so fast, and your perpetual motion takes over. You have to work very hard to stop yourself. Serge doesn't know where that line is when he's on the field to stop running. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong. Yeah. He gets back to being healthy, and then he's injured. It gets back to being, where he can maybe do some minutes, and then, another setback. I mean, he hasn't really spent a decent amount of time on the field in over 2 years. And I've met him. I've talked with him. I met his parents. They're lovely people. I love him. He's a wonderful guy.
He's dying out there that he's not out there. Okay,
he's only 19, man.
Right, he's only 19. That's the upside. Okay, but these type of injuries, boys, you can age real quick. Okay, so to me, it's tough. Okay, one of the things they could do, which they can't do because they already spent money on the field, soften that field a little bit. Okay, it's a little. It doesn't help that you're playing on turf, and the next thing you know, you're on grass. It runs a little different when you're running. Okay, the surface is a little, it's like night and day.
Fall on it too. That's
exactly right. I mean, it does. It does. I sometimes wonder. Okay, how much you guys, how much you guys are gonna, I know you guys spent money on this field and stuff like that, but a college team also plays on it. This is probably the reason why I hate turf. Okay, you're right. It's my base. I'll just say this and just let it go. My baseball career was ended on that damn carpet. But back then, AstroTurf was much harder than it is now. The surface is, than now.
It's but it's still not grass.
It's still not grass.
It's so bad.
Why do you think they put MetLife Stadium for a soccer?
I lost my knees on that damn carpet, so that was it. So that was the end of that.
Listen, we're in a situation now where, like I said, we're faced with all of these. I was just looking. If we were to even hope to see Stroud back for the August 31st match, that's 5 MLS matches and the 2 Leagues Cup matches that still remain.
No, Matthew, it was Gideon Ba. He had issues with, you're returning multiple ACL injuries. One of them pretty much ended his career. It was Gideon Ba from Ghana. And he was a beast.
Had the same thing too.
Yeah, he was a beast. Remember him? Man, that crew we had in 2018 was a crew. Okay, we were slaying dudes. It was a squad. We were slaying dudes left and right. That 7-0 win over in Yankee Stadium was no accident. It was budding stars, which was able to keep most of. 2016. Yeah. We was able to keep some of those guys, but we couldn't. That's one of the things that frustrate me about the Red Bulls a little bit. It's like, okay, how come other teams seem to keep these guys just as long as they can? I understand the buy low, sell high, metaphor. I get that, especially in the world of football, and that's probably the reason why I'm not taking this personally. However, it seems that we changed sporting directors and more than we changed players. It's like every time we turn around, it's like a new set of it's like a new set of people, and there's no continuity. So if you try to reach out to me and go, Dax included, try to reach him back, they have to think about this. They're like, you know what? Do I really want to end my career with Red Bull? Okay, considering what they did with me. And that's probably the reason why I don't see, let's put it this way. It'll be a minor miracle if you see Dax in our colors. But once he gets here, Mark, Lanre, what is he going to do? What's he going to do? I mean, and I'm not saying he can't contribute. Leadership, no problem. Yeah. Give him the captain's armband and off he goes, right?
You're talking about the play style, how it might tire him out at 36, 37 years old.
I mean, think about that. Most midfielders are not beyond 30. I mean, they can't keep up and get, the game has basically changed. Okay? We got defenders who run 4.6. That's NFL numbers. Okay?
No, it's okay.
That's NFL number. It's not the same. No, you got defenders running 4.6. You got midfielders who are sprinters. Try to keep up. No. I mean, does he have the savvy? Is he one of those been there, done that guys? Hell yeah. Okay, hell yeah. One of those guys that you definitely need. Those veterans will take you to the next. Look, we've done this before. Come on, follow my lead. I'll lead you to the promised land. Those are the type of guys you need to go into battle with. Philly had a couple of those guys. Alejandro Bedoya. I would love to have him on our squad. He's one of those dudes, okay, that will go, that will probably give you maybe a win, maybe 2 in the playoffs. We ain't got those guys now. And they haven't been, they haven't been in battle enough because they've been injured most of the time. Okay.
Yeah.
That's my concern. And that's a lot of people's concern. Okay. The question was going into the season, and it wasn't whenever these guys can ever win a chip. That wasn't the point. No. It's how far can they go into the season? We're getting tired of these, what was it called? Cameo appearances in the playoffs. Okay. I'm just here for about a minute. Then I'm gone. That's basically it. Yeah. We're alive every time the team makes the playoffs. What do we hear from everybody in the middle? Oh, you guys again? Why don't you just stub your toe or something like that just to get it over with, right?
Even in 1 year we were the higher seed. We lost to FC Cincinnati at home.
Right, exactly. You guys again? I mean,
But here's the bottom line, and this is what really got me. That they send out this letter talking about hiring Guzman to come in and be the sporting director. They talked about all these
only team with a sporting director and a head of sport. Just putting it out there.
No, we got
totally makes sense, right?
Two guys don't know what jobs they're doing. At least it seems like it. But here's the thing, you raise the prices. Now again, we can all debate. Red Bull tickets are still probably the best, per dollar value for
Try
season
comparing that
ticket.
with the Knicks.
Go
ahead.
I can barely
You
get to one or
can't.
two
You
games.
can't. You answer.
Crazy.
You can't. Try comparing this with the
But you're
Devils.
still,
Go ahead.
Your season
Go ahead.
ticket holders.
I compared it with the
Guess what?
Rangers, bro.
No, there's a reason why I haven't been in that building in 22 years. But go ahead.
Like I said, but here's the bottom line.
That's a long time.
We're told in the beginning of this year we're gonna make a difference. We're gonna sign people. We're gonna improve the lineup.
Show me.
And then what did they do? Okay, so you went out and you signed Forsberg, bring him in. You tout all the upgrades you made to your aging stadium to try to make it more relevant. Okay, that's great.
15 years is not aging, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, hold on. To be fair, they knocked down Giant Stadium before it was even 25 years old. Okay,
well, that's what I'm saying.
And everybody in New Jersey was still paying for the stadium that they knocked down and build a new one. That's New Jersey politics for you. I'm going to leave that alone before I get cursed out by everybody. But yeah,
that's the funny part. It's like you're talking about all this stuff. It's like how about all the people that we want to and then again, I'm not saying you should sign everybody that we throw a name into the hat and say, yeah, sign this guy.
Angelo.
You made improvements in
that would probably make that. That would make one person we know very, very happy.
Yeah, Angelo would be thrilled if he got
Angelo would be thrilled, but we got big names, but we ain't gonna go nowhere.
Right.
I don't care. We got big names.
Old as shit.
Dude.
I've tried to tell people, look at where Toronto is. Okay, they have had all kinds of problems. They signed 2 superstars that want to get along.
We haven't filled out our DP. Well, you're right. I mean, like I said,
they can't get along. They can't share the field together. You brought in the wrong guys. Yeah, unfortunately, he's not coming back to us.
No,
there's a lot of people that aren't coming back to us.
No,
and that's unfortunate because it's the way that the sporting side is conducted, the business side is conducted. No. That when guys leave, it's with a bad taste in their mouth.
Very much so. They're not coming back here.
No,
very much so.
Bradley came back because he had his home here. He was invested in the community, and when his playing time was up, he came back to us because there was a need, and he made a huge difference with Red Bull too. Right, his time there, it was remarkable what I saw him and Ibrahim be able to do with that.
Luis Robles, it was just simply around the neighborhood with nothing to do, and they said, "Okay, we're going to make you a legend." That's something I would like the Red Bulls to do more of. Okay, is bring a lot of these former players into the academy. Teach them the Red Bull way. Work on the next generation. You don't have that. What you have is a generational gap, and that's something I agree with you, Mark. That's something that they can do easily.
Right,
so club ambassadors, something. Okay,
we're talking about all this stuff, and like I said, who do we have? There's not even rumors, because even the rumors it's easy. We find out.
Oh, Memphis Depay. Look, we're gonna let that. Okay, we'll talk about this for just 1 second before we clean up here. The reason why this is not going to happen. I'm not going to say maybe not happen. Is because, first of all, the player like him, he checks off all the boxes. That's number one. It just makes too much sense for him to be here. Okay?
Yeah.
That alone, the fact that this came from a rumor, this came from, what was it, MLS rumors? The fact that it just mentioned
transfers.
The MLS, thank you, MLS transfers. I'm going to be, hold on, for the record, I'm going to be respectful here. Okay? We're not going to be one of those, we're not going to be one of those podcasts that are going to disrespect these guys, okay? Not going to do it. Too easy, okay? Don't know where he got that rumor from. He's saying that there was a source. Well, because this is how it usually happens. A source talked to another source, from another source, from another source, from another source, and it turns out that source was lying, okay? As you know, me, Anthony, and a whole bunch of dudes, we're there at the club, and we talk to the guys all the time. talked to some people about this. Some guys that didn't want to mention their name came up with one word. No. Didn't happen. So we let it go. Now, I'm not saying that this could happen, but my gut is telling me this won't happen because of how things are being run, the Red Bulls run right now. Okay? And this is also one of the reasons why Mark and every Red member is raging. Like, okay, what are we waiting for? What they're waiting for is to feel excited. What they're waiting for is the fan base to be energized. What they're waiting for is the team to say, you know what? Damn the Torpedoes, we're doing this. Okay? That's what they want to see. They want to have a season of their lives. Even if it's going to be that one chance of a championship and you probably don't hear from Red Bull ever again. Okay? They want something that they can able to talk about. They want something that they can able to rally around with. And right now, while the team is doing well, right now they're in 4th place in the East, okay? Not too shabby. But right now is what we said from day one, which is basically not enough. And the reason why I'm not looking just at 1 or 2 teams, okay? Those teams that are right now on top of the Eastern Conference, guys, they're not going anywhere. Miami, they ain't going anywhere. Cincinnati, they took the Supporters Shield lead back. They ain't going anywhere.
6-1, man.
Okay, they ain't going anywhere. All right? All those other teams, Columbus, remember them? They got a championship to defend. They ain't going anywhere. The way I see it, the only team that doesn't really belong there is us. We just happen to be there by default. And thankfully, the reason why we're up there is because we're having a great season at home, which is something we're just supposed to be doing. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
Well, no complaint. Again, no complaint there. But something that these fans, it's getting a little worrisome with every home game. They see the bright lights. They see the fireworks. They see the fantastic fan experience.
We've had an increase in attendance. The arena's been great.
Yeah.
We haven't lost yet.
Yeah, we haven't lost yet. That's the clincher, boys.
Yeah.
You ain't seen a loss in 2020 in our Lord 2024. You ain't seen a loss in that building.
I brought 2 friends,
which is nice. Okay.
I brought 2 of my friends to Nashville, and we got upgraded. And these guys, it was their first MLS experience. They loved it. We actually watched the ball go in the net 2 times. Yeah, and we heard the music.
Girlfriend brought some of her friends over from work. It was a ladies' night thing. Yeah. They couldn't say anything bad about it. So, the fireworks, the laser lights, we'll be dancing and everything else. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Here's the problem with those draws.
But it was a DC game.
Yeah. Oh, like I said.
Okay. It was a DC game. The game that we were supposed to win, but didn't. So there you go.
If we had collected the 10 points that we should have gotten from those 5 games, and I think a lot of us in the discussion group, has
anyone figured out why the attendance has picked up this year as compared to prior years? I think part of it, Travel Pass. I have no idea who this guy is.
Yes, you do. You're the only one.
I tease him. I know who he is. Part of it is what I just mentioned, the fan experience. Okay, believe it or not, people come early to check it out. Pyrotechnics and all that other stuff. It's like an NBA game. I kind of hate it somewhat. I mean, but when you go, when you go to but Lanre, you can attest to this. You and I are Knicks fans, right?
Yeah.
60% of the time you go to a Knicks game, not to watch the game itself, to be entertained, right? So from start to finish, it's nothing but entertainment. Okay, from the Knicks City dancers, the pyrotechnics, and the laser light show, and everything else, the bumping music and stuff like that. Hey, even if the team sucks, you're still gonna be entertained, right? It's worth it because you're entertained. Okay, same here with the Red Bulls. Somebody just put a buzz in the ear and say, "Okay, we know." I mean, what's the general thing about soccer? It's slow, it's boring, blah blah blah, right? add a little entertainment, add a little pizzazz and showmanship and stuff like that, people will come to see that. All you have to do, when you get a chance, okay, all you have to do is remember the first town hall that we had, okay? There was this guy who spoke before me, okay, and he was concerned that we were losing Thierry Henry and then there was no immediate replacement. And his words were, and I quote, "I'm not here to watch a team win. I'm here to be entertained." There are a lot of sports fans who fit that persona. They'd rather be entertained, okay? Sadly, but it's true. I don't make up the rules here. Me, I'm old school. You want to entertain me? Win. I'll be entertained. You want to entertain me? I don't care about this flash and fireworks and everything else and all the noise and some chick you screaming at the top of her lungs, make some noise and all that other stuff. I don't care about that. All I care about, did we win? Good. I'm entertained. That's it. That's how I am. I'm old school. Sadly, there's not many of us left, but that's the thing. But let's clean this up a little bit. Yes, the reason why we didn't show any highlights is because there was no highlights to show. The end of the score was 0-0. Nobody scored. Nobody won. So we all picked up basically just one little measly point and moved on. However, there was some good notes to this. Goalkeeper Carlos Coronel reached his 4th MLS shutout this season, his 35th of his career. Now, he has recorded shutouts in back-to-back matches. The Paraguayan international, we got to talk about that someday, registered his 34th career shutout with New York, which is ranked 2nd in franchise history. It was his first clean sheet on the road since February 25th against Nashville. Remember that? Another clean sheet. That was his first one.
We should have won that game, though.
That is true.
We just swept Nashville this year.
It was so far. That's been the harbinger of the things to come, right? So that was the game we should have won. Okay, so defender Sean Nealis, another guy. He made his 127th MLS appearance for the club, which moves him to sole possession, the 5th place in franchise history for most in MLS appearances by a defender passing. Guess who, y'all? I'm going to let you guys figure this one. This is easy. Who did he pass to make this mark? Y'all know him very well.
Aaron Long. No.
I'll give you guys a hint. He was one of the homegrowns.
Matt Miazga.
Nah. Connor Lade.
Legendary
homegrown. Connor Lade.
Because I already I saw all the stuff that came up at post game.
Let me see if anybody else got that. Nope. No. But yeah, the low light was basically Elias Manuel, who basically was right at the doorstep. Put it home. That's when you knew. That's when you knew right then and there. It was not going to be our night. But hey, we didn't lose. We didn't win. We didn't lose. Okay, so that's something to look forward there. I
wanted to say before that if you were to take those 5 games, and this is the coach in me is just grinding away.
Mm-hmm.
Look at where we're at in points. We would have the same amount of wins. We would have 14 wins as Inter Miami, and they will have played one. They had one more game played than us. We'd be at 46 points. We'd be a point behind them and 2 points behind. Now, you think about it. If we had 1 or 2 quality players that made a difference, or as we say, if any one of the 3 milk cartons could hit the side of a barn, we could be in a much better position. We'd be ahead of Columbus and by 6 points.
Look, I think we can all agree before we can, end this segment. I think we can all agree that scoring goals in soccer ain't easy. Okay, sometimes you got to do it with defenders draped all over you like a cheap suit. However, part of that scoring is by luck. Okay, you got to be. You got to be good. Everyone's looking at Messi. Well, he does it all the time. He doesn't. Well, Messi is Messi. Not everybody. Not everybody is like him. They're some of the best strikers in the world. They have bad days. Strikers are like home run hitters. They got streaks. Now, the reason why I'm glad that they're not throwing Van Zier under the bus because we talk to him most of the time, and I'll say it one more time. He wants to score badly, okay? He knows everyone's talking about him. He knows the pressure is on him. He knows,
He's in
it was like,
his head.
yeah,
It's
but that's,
more of a mental
but
thing now.
yeah, but that's just it. When it really gets to you, kind of messes you up a little bit, okay? It's like you're having the yips out, in the worst time. So maybe they need to, what I'm thinking is do a stint in New York Red Bulls too for about a couple of weeks. At least you get get some trigger time. Whip up against some kids, because you know what's going to happen, right? If you smoking kids left and right, you got your confidence back. It's okay, but if I'm dancing around kids and blowing them by them and everything else, I'm coming back lethal. It's worth a shot. So we're going to take a break. After we're done, in about 30 seconds, Lanre is going to tell us how we're going to get past Colorado, which happens to be our next team we face, and a couple of old friends along the way. See you back here in 30 seconds. Colorado Rapids, of course, naturally. Oops, sorry. Colorado Rapids, of course, as you know, is a MLS original 10. MLS original, okay? And we face them next week, up in Colorado. No, we're not at home, okay? Remember how we used to always play those guys on July 4th? Now we're playing them on July 8th, 9th, 10th, 12th. Now it's no different. But Lanre, last time we checked about Colorado, they hired one of our ex-coaches, and they got one of our ex-midfielders, and they're doing very well. They're a hot squad out in the West. Not too shabby. Lanre, I give this to you. Tell the good people what they're going to be expecting running into the Rapids. Not the Rockies, the Rapids.
Well, the Colorado Rapids, featuring our old good friends, Mr. Chris Armas and Mr. Omir Fernandez. They are currently sitting in fourth in the Western Conference with 11 wins, 4 draws, 8 losses. They have a +7 goal difference. Their last game, they beat up on St. Louis City SC, who recently fired our old friend Bradley Cornell. By a score of 4
that I will never understand. That I'll never understand, but more on that later. Go ahead.
Yeah. Cole Bassett was the star of the show there. That young kid, their number 10 or attacking midfielder, who was at Feyenoord for a little bit, came back to Colorado. He was the man of the match, notching a goal and an assist, as did Kevin Cabral, former LA Galaxy player. They like to play a 4-2-3-1. They play our boy Omir on the right wing, with Kevin Cabral on the left, and they have Bassett in the middle, playing the number 10. And they had a 24-year-old striker by the name of Rafael Navarro, who they've had on loan from Palmeiras since last year, and he's been making an impact as well. They have Zach Steffen, USMNT goalkeeper.
Once they signed him, the defense got that much tougher. My goodness. I mean, he's been padding the win since he arrived there. I mean, would you say it was a significant signing for those guys?
Yeah, I would. I mean, even though Stefan is honestly not my favorite keeper in the world.
Okay, what?
He really didn't. It's unfortunately it didn't work out for him in Europe. So he came back to the league, came back stateside, and credit to him. He's doing well in Colorado. What's his name? Jonathan Lewis. You guys remember him? I believe he's a former NYCFC guy. He is. Yeah, he is former NYCFC guy. He came off the bench for Omir Fernandez in that last game, and he served up a goal and an assist. So they got some weapons out there, especially on the wing. They definitely got some weapons in offense.
All right, head to head. What do you? This is a team that's 2 wins better right now than the New York Red Bull. But what do you see with these guys head to head? What are the trouble spots that you see? What are the issues that you see? I see plenty, but I'll let you, tell everybody about that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find a way to keep the wingers quiet. We're gonna have to find a way to keep Cabral quiet. We're gonna have to find a way to keep Omir from cooking because that boy's gonna want to really put up some new home cooking, against his old team that
Mm-hmm.
that he grew up supporting with and everything. We're gonna have to really keep Cole Bassett quiet. We're gonna have to find a way to, keep those guys from getting in their favorite spots, down the wing and making their favorite crosses. And we're gonna have to really just um, really, we're just gonna have to make sure that they can't get to their spots, and that our boys stay focused on defense. And I mean, they're on a hot streak right now. But I think we have a couple ways that we can exploit the spacing behind their defense.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a little easier if we had our talisman, Emil Forsberg. Unfortunately, we will
We
not have him
won't
until
have that.
August. That really, really blows. But I think that this game is going to be won and lost in the midfield. They have a really strong midfield. With their two holding midfielders, Connor Ronan, the Irishman, and Oliver Laraz, the young 22-year-old. That game is going to be won and lost in the midfield. It's going to be a fight. If they can't get it out to their fullbacks, Keegan Rosenberry and Jaden Vines love to attack. If they can't get it out to those guys. If they can get it out to their wingers, Omir and Cabral.
It's going to be a
Then I
long
think
day, right?
it will be a long day. It will be a long day, especially at that high altitude. Sheesh.
So it sounds like to me that defensively, okay, the only thing that keep this from being, and I agree with Vincent, this is going to be a bad loss. This is
Yeah,
looking to
I'm
be
not
a
liking
very
this at
bad
all.
loss. I'm not looking this
Not
game.
liking this at all.
I'm not liking this game at all. You got injuries, heat,
No.
altitude. It's going to be over 100 degrees It's going to be over 100 degrees on Saturday up there. Okay,
Oh God.
it's gonna smoke us badly this weekend.
We're cooked.
This is why I kept saying that you need the difference between teams as far as your bench is concerned, will serve you through games like this was crucial because you're running into teams that are hot right now. They're cooking right now. Okay. I've been seeing I've been seeing them play guys. They're no joke. Okay. It's
Won
kind
five of the
of
last six.
correct. They're no joke. Okay. So we like to laugh and joke about him being, the gym teacher. It looks like the gym teacher's got things going, but they're in the same position as the Red Bulls right now, fourth place. Okay. So I'm sure their fans are loving what's going on with over there. And I'm not saying they got a crew, but they're definitely flying high right now. They are literally, they're one loss out of the last five. They got one loss. Okay. Red Bulls are undefeated in five, four draws and a win. That's basically it. So their last meeting was 2 years ago, man, for August 2nd. It was a 5-4 barn burner between those two guys. We
We
were
were
on
up
the
2-0. That
yeah,
was a terrible Colorado team. We were up 2-0 at home. And we
right.
were
It
also
was
up 3-1. We were up 2-0 early. We were up 3-1. We ended up losing 5-4. We were
four.
down
Okay.
5-3, and I had already left the stadium by the time Barlow scored to make it 5-4. And I heard that there had been an equalizer that was ruled out, I guess, due to
Yeah.
offside or a foul. It was
Yeah,
offside.
that
Yeah.
was that. Yeah, that basically had the fans hitting this, jumping the seats at me. But 2 years ago, okay, think about this, right? We talk about those draws, right, all the time, where there were games that they should have won, and Mark expertly pointed that out, right? Those 5 games. 2 years ago, what was this team doing? They had the game right in their hand, and they let it slip,
And
right?
lose.
They lose, right? In maddening, frustrating fashion. Guys, in the live audience, tell me if I'm wrong, right? In the 80th minute, we got the lead. By minute 90, we lost it. You know, everybody
Completely
punching the
lost.
wall, everybody banging their heads like, how in the world can you can't hold a lead? So when I say that this team is better in that regard, there it is. There's Exhibit A. Because 2 years ago, we had issues, okay? We had issues holding leads and stuff like that. Now, We get a lead, we hold on to it for dear life. Okay. And we're able to shut down teams' lead. But the question is getting that lead and staying ahead. That's the problem against very good teams. Now, I would say that, I would say the Colorado's a mid team, but they're good at home. They use they use that stadium to their advantage like no other, like we do. And I'm just going to put it out there. A lot of folks already painting this as a loss. Mark, what do you see this? I mean, is there any hope for this squad to get, at least get up? Getting a point out of that place is going to be a major victory. Let's put it that way.
I think
put it that way.
That's the one difference between this year and last. That there has been improvement in the quality of our play. We're still not where everybody wants us to be. Obviously, we're never going to be Miami. We are never going to be Cincinnati unless there are some wholesale changes.
Hell, Miami is not going to be Miami in about a season from now.
I mean, we beat Cincinnati earlier this year.
Right. But like I said, that's the frustrating part, knowing what could have been, what could be right now. Yeah, had things gone different, we're facing all this adversity, and I think Lisa mentioned it. We're at fourth, but we're sort of like we're in that mid gap. We could get to third, maybe, challenge for second if we're lucky, if one of those teams starts to slip. But at this point, I'm hoping we stay in the top four, and at least for the first round, we host.
Columbus got a tough schedule down the stretch, so that's something. Yeah. Cincinnati got a tough schedule down the stretch, so that's something. Right. The only other team that don't see that happening is Miami. They got an easy schedule. Right. I mean, they're going to be coasting.
What we're faced with is that we had a lot of early road games. Mm-hmm. Like the month of June, we were inundated. We had 4 matches at home. So we sort of used up that excess number of games to be played at home. So now we're getting into that July and August, stretch. We got to go to Colorado. We're hosting Montreal on a Wednesday again. That's
games we play against them. They're on a Wednesday.
Both Montreal
right.
games.
Right.
Up this schedule, but we're and then we go from Montreal Wednesday to hosting Cincinnati on a Saturday night. In the same week. And then we
all other teams are going through the same same schedule situation as us. Yeah.
But that's
a lot of games to catch up on.
We're faced with coming off 2 straight disappointments. And now we got to go face Armas. And this crew. I think we're going to be very fortunate if we get out of there with a draw. And I'm going to say 1-1. I think the heat's going to affect both teams just like it did Saturday in Philly. I think both teams by the 75th minute, guys were just sucking wind, and while we had chances, we just didn't have the quality to get the finish that we wanted.
And not only going to be sucking wind, they're going to be in mile high atmosphere. This is going to be Colorado's built better for it.
Listen, this is one of those situations where a draw is a win for us. We
can't complain. No. Oh, we got a draw? Good.
Right. When you get a point on the road, it's always been one of those things you say, oh, good, we got a point. Because you want to win at home and draw on the road is your ultimate goal as a team. I think if we get out of there, get on the plane from home, we've got
Star Wars night is a Wednesday night game.
Yes.
What's Star Wars night? Which one?
Yes.
It's a Wednesday night game.
The one against Montreal.
Yeah.
And then Marvel night is Saturday night. It's like you want the cartoon characters showing up.
It's for the kids.
Well, and look, and
Star Wars is for the adults, really. The old Jedis.
We had TC on Kids Night. How do you chant our famous chant with all those kids in the arena? Somebody.
I'm still bitter over the fact that they just let Philly Union kids scream YSA with impunity. I'm like, meanwhile we getting bribed. They're getting South Ward getting bribed, threatened, seats taken away and everything. League is jumping all over the national TV about why. I mean, it's a stupid shit.
If we drop an F-bomb in their stadium, where we risk getting thrown out. Because for some reason they're really soft. They can dish it, but they can't take it. That's just what Philly is, man.
Look, Philly is Philly, and they don't give a damn. So there you go. They're basically saying, take your threat and shove it. Which is probably the reason why I like those guys so much. They have an attitude that matches, no one else. My thing is
to the next zone.
Yeah, my thing, of course, my thing is more toward the league than the fans. I'm like, let the supporters be supporters, huh? Instead of trying to make money off those guys, let the supporters be supporters. Look, as long as they're not burning down the stadium, now that's taking it just a bit too far. Certain curse words ain't gonna hurt. So I agree. I agree, Matthew. It is childish. It's not just childish. It's a stupid chant. I don't like it very much either because it's something that should have really moved on, stuff like that. But
yeah, but everybody, I think everybody should find something else to chant.
Right. Find something else. Find some. South Ward used to be was all about originality. Exactly. Let's get back to that. Find something original, all right? Find something original and clever, okay? The South Ward used to be used to that, and used to be known to that. Get back to that. I'm not harping on the guys, all the kids out, the cool kids out in the South Ward. I love them. I sing their praises anytime anybody asks. I know you're in there, but my thing is, hey, get some new chants, please. Pretty please. That's all I ask. But there's something that it's something that really that it really when I was there over Subaru Stadium, I was like, really? YSA? Okay, I guess you're not gonna go out. You went after us. You went after our cool kids, but you ain't gonna go after them.
No, that's a league issue.
It's called selective enforcement. There you go. So we're gonna move that
which isn't cool.
I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the final score 3-1. This is going to be a bloodbath. I mean, this is the Rapids are no joke at home. Okay, if we can able to contain their wingers and able to minimize the damage in the midfielder, we got a chance. However slim. But then you got Omir Fernandez, who dances around defenses like he did with us, and he's going to do this. He knows all of those guys. And then, of course, you have Armas, who's probably going to use this very moment to carve up this team to see, maybe you shouldn't have fired me when things were working. Things were working? Things were not working. Okay.
Things were working the same way.
I've always said that he was a very good coach.
You're being extremely generous, Garry.
I will say, he was. It takes, he was trying to, do a system that was already built. That what got him into trouble was trying to reinvent the wheel at the very wrong moment, and you just don't do that. Then he doubled down the next season, and that's why we lost all those good players, because they were like, well, what are we doing here? Are we contending, or are we just reinventing the wheel? When you say we reinvent, we lost Taxi, we lost all those guys that built that cachet that got us up to that point. They're gone now. All right. Other things that happened while things were away. Of course, the Gotham girls, they went to the West Coast and did very well in their last little road trip. They beat Angel City FC 2-1. Okay. They went out there. Rose Lavelle scored her 5th goal of the season. Then you got, of course, in the 16th minute, Delaney Sheehan got her 1st goal of the season in the 40th minute to double the lead. But then Claire Ismail pulled one back for the host on a penalty kick. 6th goal in the season, but got no further. As the Gotham girls won on the West Coast down in Agency 2-1. Gotham has 31 points, moves them to 4th place, just like the Red Bulls, in the standing. Their next match is August 24th. It's going to be a while before I believe there's a tournament going on, but no, their next match is August 24th against Portland Thorns FC at Red Bull Arena. Kickoff is at 2:00. I'll be there. Hope to see you guys there. Match is going to be screened by CBS and Paramount Plus. So, by the way, once again, if you don't want to pay Paramount Plus that money, we got you. Remember, you can actually see many of the NWSL games for free. You have to go to NWSL Plus, and all you got to do is just enter in your information. You can see all the women footy for nothing. Okay, really, for nothing. It's a free site.
Just checked.
Meanwhile,
They actually do have a Leagues Cup version.
oh, that's right.
Wednesday
Yeah,
night
yeah, yeah,
version.
yeah.
It's
That's why it's 24th.
starting
They're
the
doing this.
20th.
They're playing their Mexican league counterpart teams.
Well,
what do
they-
you call
yeah,
the
they
Femini or
play
something like that?
Liga MX Femenil. Yeah.
Yeah, Femenil.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
So they're playing their
in their first group game.
that. So that's what that's what's going on for them. Meanwhile, the Baby Bulls, Mark's favorite team, my favorite team. Oh man.
Listen.
Oh
I got-
man.
I got the
Oh
Red
man.
Bulls.
They housed some dudes 6-2.
Excuse me.
6-2. Okay.
COG
Off and run.
put up.
Tanner Rosbrough got them off in 15 minutes into the match. Karim Timini equalized in 27th, but then Jacob Williams popped in his own goal for the host. Julian Hall scored 2 minutes after that. And of course, Juan Gutierrez scored seconds later. Dominic Chanqui got one for the visitors 5 minutes into stoppage time because Julian Hall again got his brace a minute later. Win moves him into 6th place in the Eastern Conference table. Their next match is on the 21st, guys, on Sunday, set for 7 o'clock to be streamed at MLS Season Pass at Apple TV. Funny
By the
thing
way-
about New York Red Bulls, too. Go ahead, Mark. I'll let you finish it.
We have owned Atlanta United too, by the way.
Pretty much. I was about to say that.
It was probably
like that.
I don't remember them ever beating us this year.
20
I think
minutes.
so in general.
We were at a game where it was a daytime game. It was like a 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock kickoff because they don't do those anymore. It's either 5 or 7 now on Sunday night, which is terrible. But it was a horrible, horrible day. It was just like brutally hot, like today, 90 something degrees, and we pantsed them. It was like 8-1, 8-1. There's something about Atlanta United too that Red Bull 2 just go off.
Must be the
Before-
colors.
Yes,
You stole our stripes.
yes,
We're
that's
going to
it.
beat it off of you.
And we do, and that team does every time they face them. It's like something personal. They just don't like that team, and I don't know what it is. But like I said, I enjoy the hell
On
out of
site.
it. Yeah, it just
On
On
it's-
site. Right. That's true,
I
Lanre.
love
On
that.
site. We're like,
On
okay, we got to
site.
kill y'all.
I love the fact that own goal showed up, and I've seen it posted all over the place. Own goal is leading the scoring in the Euros with 10 goals.
Crazy. Generational
It
run.
counts. Whether you do it by
Generational.
yourselves or when you get the other team to do it, it counts. Okay, that's the
Exactly.
cruel thing about soccer.
That's got to be the most ever in a tournament I can ever remember.
Doesn't dilute the quality though. This
No, it
this
doesn't.
European Championship has
No.
been fun to watch. I mean, it has
So
been.
much fun.
Honestly, I can't wait till we get a break because I need a break from between Copa America, the Euros, the MLS schedule, the MLS2 schedule, and the girls.
And we got Leagues Cup coming at us fast
And
and
the
furious.
Olympics.
Honestly,
And right. Oh, speaking of the Olympics, our own John Tolkien,
yes.
he made the squad. He's on his way to Paris. He made the squad. He made it. So we're very happy for him. Extremely happy for him. So he's not the only one that's went out there, in case you're wondering. You got you got goalkeepers Patrick Schulte and Gaga Solinia. Your defenders is Maximilian Dietz, Nathan Harriel from Philadelphia, Miles Robinson, John Tolkien, Caleb, we just mentioned, Caleb Wiley, Walker Zimmerman. That's a pretty good, nice little defensive lineup there. Midfielders. Here's the thing that really bothers me though. Gianluca Buzio, Benjamin Kermashi from Miami, Jordy Mihalovic, of course, from where else? From Colorado. Jack McGlynn from Philadelphia, Tanner Tesman. And then you have the forwards. Paxton Aronson, Taylor Booth, Duncan McGuire, Kevin Paredes, and Griffin Yao. The alternates goes Josh Intencio, Jake Davis, Johan Gomez, and John Polskamp. Guys, does that roster feel a little light to you?
I mean, it's only 18 players, which is the maximum number
Right.
of players you could take. Olympic squads are designed to be thin.
Right.
And
And when I mean
it
light, I
depends
don't
on the
mean
group the U.S. gets.
right.
Oh, you mean
What
for
I
the
mean-
name recognition?
Right. There's a couple of guys that should be there that's not there. Okay. That kind of has me scratching my head. And then they put in terrific performances this season. One of them happens to be from RSL. Why he ain't on there? I don't get that. I mean,
Diego
I'm sure
Luna?
Diego Luna, he should be
That
there.
kid's a baller.
There's
I don't know
a
what they're
couple
doing.
there's a couple of noticeable omissions,
Yeah,
and the question becomes:
I'm scratching my head on that one. I'm like, huh? Wait a minute.
I'm not complaining that that Edelman's not on the squad. I thought he was going to get put on the squad. I'm glad he's with us because obviously we need him, you know. But yeah, there are a few people that are missing. I'd say.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
that's basically
we're gonna
Wiley's. Wiley is on this thing,
setting up.
but John Tolkien, congrats, man, congrats. I can't remember the last Red Bull MetroStar player to be featured on an Olympic team. I'm trying to search that out, but
To be fair, this is the first time the U.S. have qualified since Beijing 2008.
right, that
So,
was So
That
it's
would be
been
a reason why.
it has been a while.
in
Of course,
fact,
we
you know
let
who knocked the U.S. out that year?
yeah, medical. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we don't that.
You
There's a
remember?
rivalry.
I
No,
remember.
it wasn't Mexico.
It
In
wasn't Mexico though.
2008,
2000
we were in the same group with Nigeria.
Nigeria. That's right.
And the winner in the last group game we played them, and the winner takes all. Whoever won was gonna, advance, like win the group, and I guess the loser, depending on what happened with the Netherlands and Japan, I believe, could have been eliminated. And got a red card in the 3rd minute. Lost 2-1. Netherlands beat Japan to advance in second place. The U.S. were knocked out. Nigeria won the group. That was the most.
Nicholas.
I was the most conflicted I'd ever been in my 12 years of life. At that point, it
Mhm.
was. It was crazy. I was so happy for for my country, but sad for my country.
Nick made a great point here. Clubs didn't release a lot of their players for the Olympics, and it's not a money grab. It's something that's something with honor. But you see a lot of clubs are basically saying, "Nah, we need these guys more than the nation does."
Talking about the League's Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was talking
a
about
really silly tournament in comparison. But there you go. We didn't get your prediction, Lanre. My apologies. So your prediction versus Colorado versus New York Red Bull, based on what you've seen, based on what you knew, and you did a terrific breakdown. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing? A bad loss on the horizon?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Well,
No faith.
it depends. Can Elias Manuel
That-
actually look like a real
Here we go.
striker? Can Elias Manuel and Dante Van Zier actually look like real strikers? Then yes, I think maybe we can come out with a draw. But if Dante Van Zier looks like he should be making me Belgian waffles, and Elias Manuel looks like
Be
he should be looking like
nice.
Borja Sanchez,
No,
instead,
nice.
then we're getting
Right.
destroyed.
Okay.
3-1. Maybe 3-0. 3-0. 3-0 up.
oh,
Okay. Yeah. All right. So 3-0 for
I hate to
you.
say it.
I'm hearing Nicholas telling me draw is a 2-2. I'm saying it's a 3-1 loss myself. If we get a point out of all that, it's going to be a major victory. Depending on how they're playing and everything else. It's this is going to be one of those games where once again, the Red Bulls are going to get exposed because of the roster and everything else, and it's a real pain to see that where you have opportunities to go up against great teams, but this is a very good team. It's the same level as you. Maybe they'll raise about the bar. Maybe they'll set it up. I don't doubt that they don't have the ability, guys, but we'll see. Of course, naturally, that game, of course, that will on Monday, where Miguel and Carlos will return to talk all about it and everything, and then we'll see. We got 2 games coming up on Wednesday. We got Montreal, and of course, we have Saturday. Man, we got a busy week. Games are coming in fast and furious, but then again, that's why we're here. Once again, if for any reason you guys if you guys missed the live show, you can always go to any one of our outlets. You can go to YouTube, our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We just hit a milestone, 51 subscribers. Yay. Hopefully we can be able to get some more. And of course, you got goals.tv. And of course, our folks over in Spotify, all of our episodes are loaded pretty much the very next day. next week should be a real fun, atmosphere because we got 2 games coming up. We got Montreal and, of course, on Saturday. Hope to see you guys all there. For those joining us on the live show, thanks so much for joining us for the last hour. We appreciate it. Appreciate your support and everything else. On behalf of the gentlemen, we thank you very much. For Lanre, Badmus, and Mark Coates, thank you guys so much for joining us. We will see you next week. With this time, we have Miguel Nunez and Carlos Cano. Hope you guys ever get a win on Saturday. We really would be great to be able to get one. Something to talk about. But, of course, if we get the point, it's not so bad either. A good team with Colorado. So, until then, enjoy the rest of your week, everybody. Stay cool. Stay dry, because it's going to be a hot one for the next couple of days. Until then,
80 degrees down here, man. 80 degrees down here.
Yeah. Okay, it's 75 in my apartment right now. So I don't have no sympathy for you. All right. So
what sympathy? I'm happy. I don't get to bake. I'm not trying to bake, man. I'm trying to chill, not bake.
All right. Thanks a lot, everyone. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, good night and goodbye for now.